Hello my dear students, welcome to the new video. Here we will discuss the social responsibilities of business in module 3 of the subject technological innovation management and entrepreneurship. What is social responsibility? Everybody will be knowing what is responsibility. Here, what is social responsibility? In Kannada we say samajika javabdari. Social responsibility is the moral obligation. It is a moral obligation, not a legal obligation. It is a moral obligation on a company or an individual to take decisions or actions that is in favor and useful to the society. So, social responsibility is a moral obligation on a company or an individual. It is on a company or it may be on the individual to take decisions or actions that is in favor and useful to the society. So, then we call it as a social responsibility. Social responsibility in business is commonly known as corporate social responsibility. So, we saw in the first paragraph what is social responsibility. Social responsibility in business is commonly known as corporate social responsibility or CSR. Many times you might have seen in the newspaper CSR fund, CSR. For any company, this responsibility indicates that they acknowledge and appreciate the goals of the society and therefore would support them to achieve these goals. If you have seen the Toyota factory near Biddi, in their CSR funds, they have installed many water purifiers in the villages, and they have given a lot of funds to the government schools for purchasing computers, water purifiers, etc. Or they might have funded for the building of a classroom and all. So under companies, corporate social responsibility funds. Now in this slide, let us see the advantages of social responsibility. A company can boost its morale and enhance work culture when they can engage their employees with some social causes. Any company they may be doing their routine work, but if they engage in social responsibility work, it boosts their morale and enhances its work culture when their employees connected to the social causes. There are many factors that can have a positive impact on the business. Definitely, why I mentioned Toyota, because while going through in and around of Biddi villages, in many places we can see donated by, contributed by Toyota. So it enhances its business. So it is a positive impact. We will get a good impression on that company. Let us see some factors. Justification for existence and growth. Definitely, Toyota existence. It's proved around 5-6 kilometers of that factory, and it's growing. The long-term interest of the firm. So it wanted to stay there. The company wanted to stay there, grow there. So they spend CSR funds. Avoidance of government regulation. So the government school need not wait for the government for the funds. So these corporate companies they will provide the funds. Maintenance of society. So it's their social responsibility to maintain the society at least in the neighborhood. Availability of resources with business, converting problems into opportunities. Small problems will be there. So they will be converting the problems into opportunities. A better environment for doing business, holding business responsible for social problems. Anything which are having advantages, definitely it will have some disadvantages also. We saw a lot of advantages of social responsibilities. Now let us see few existing disadvantages of social responsibility. That is violation of profit maximization objective. Objective of any corporate is to maximize its profit. So if it spends more money on the CSR, then it is violation of profit maximization objective. Burden on consumers. Definitely the corporate companies will not spend the CSR funds from their pockets. So they will burden the customers. They will increase the cost of their products. Lack of social skills. Many companies will lack the social skills where they need to spend CSR funds. Let us see different types of social responsibilities after advantages and disadvantages of social responsibilities. The different types of social responsibilities are economic responsibility. In economic responsibility, every business is engaged in economic activities. Definitely, if it is a business, it is economic activity. So, the prime social responsibility of every business should be economic responsibility. Hence, they should sell products and service which can satisfy the need of the society. Second type is legal responsibility. The company should comply with the political and legal environment of that country. The company should consider protecting the environment. The third type is ethical responsibility. This type of responsibility expects a certain type of behavior or conduct from the company. This behavior may not be documented by law. The fourth type of social responsibility is discretionary responsibility. There are voluntary actions taken by the entities in case of natural calamities, helping poor people. In case of tsunami, earthquake, and all, many corporate companies come forward, they donate funds, they provide the facilities and all. So, this is discretionary responsibility. They help them by providing charitable contribution, education activities, etc. I hope you know from Wipro they have spent a lot of CSR funds on educational activities in government schools. It prevents investments of charitable funds into speculative activities. Social responsibilities for different interest groups. Responsibility towards shareholders. Shareholders are the owners of the company. Shareholders, definitely, they are the owners of the company. The company should make all the efforts to maximize and protect shareholders' wealth. Sharing of useful information with the shareholders, utilization of funds, etc. Second one is the responsibility towards the workers. The first one was towards shareholders. Second one is the responsibility towards the workers. Workers are the key persons behind company success. Behind the success of any company, definitely workers will be there. Management of the enterprise must provide the proper working conditions to the workers. Workers should get fair salaries and wages. Responsibility towards consumers. We saw shareholders, we saw workers. The third one is the responsibility towards the consumers. It is the consumer who buys the company's product and the services. So it is the responsibility of the company to provide the right quality, right quantity with the right price to the customer. There should not be the unfair trade practices like adulteration, poor quality, courtesy to the customer, etc. These are the social responsibilities for shareholders, workers, and consumers. So, after social responsibility, let us discuss about social audit. You might have heard of audit, auditing, and all. So, here we will discuss what is social audit. A social audit is a formal evaluation of a company procedures and endeavors with regards to corporate social responsibility and societal impact. It assesses how well a company is meeting its CSR objectives and provides an opportunity to identify areas for improvement. Social audits exert a strong influence on impacting the social or public relations image of companies as business strive to maintain a delicate balance between their social initiatives and providing value to the investor and shareholders. Items examined in a social audit. What are the items to be examined in a social audit? The scope of a social audit can vary and be wide ranging. The assessment can include social and public responsibility but also employee treatment. Some of the guidelines and topics that comprise a social audit include the following: environmental impact resulting from the company's operation. Due to company's operations, how it is impacting on the environment. Transparency in reporting any issues regarding the effect on the public or environment. If there are some issues regarding the effect on the public or the environment, how much transparency they are reporting. Accounting and financial transparency, community development and financial contributions, charitable giving, volunteer activity of employees, energy use or impact on footprint, work environment including safety, free of harassment and equal opportunity, worker pay and benefits, non-discriminatory practices, and finally the diversity. These are the items examined in a social audit. Now let us see advantages of social audit. We saw earlier what is social audit, what are the items to be examined in social audit. Now what are the advantages of social audit? Social audits provide multiple advantages, including encouraging democracy and the sharing of opinions by employees and company members, and identifying challenges faced by certain marginalized or disadvantaged groups. In addition, they can also be used to better support the human resources and social capital of the organization and promote collective decision making. Anything which has got advantage definitely should have disadvantage. Now let us see the disadvantages of social audit. Time and organizational effort required to set up social accounting system. Lot of time is required, lot of effort is required to set up social accounting system. It may seem to be burden on the organization. Cost of outside resources such as interviewers and social auditors. To do social audit, definitely the company should invite external social auditors. So the cost definitely will be on the company. Unless embedded in organization culture, there is a danger of it becoming a one-off paper exercise. Now in India, many of the companies social audit is a paper exercise itself. Only few companies they are very transparent. Achieving recognition by stakeholders and others of the value of social audit. Identification of and obtaining views and opinions of non-stakeholders who may be potential stakeholders. Exclusion of potential participants if the process is made complicated and confusing through involvement of professionals. Lack of standards for social audit process and recognized qualifications for social auditors may damage the credibility of the process. Perception of organization manipulating or hijacking stakeholders' views. We saw social responsibility, we saw social audit, now ethics. Ethics can be said to be the field of study that is concerned with values, standards, morals, principles, etc. You might have studied the moral values in school days. So that is ethics. Some standards, some values, value based education, which are used to base one's decisions or actions. It is a discipline, tries to set up criteria for good and bad behavior actions and to evaluate the motives for these actions and the consequences. Ethics is a branch of philosophy that involves systematizing, defending, and recommending concepts of right and wrong conduct. Ethics seeks to resolve questions of human morality by defining concepts such as good and evil, right and wrong, virtue and vice, justice and crime. Ethics seeks to resolve questions of human morality by defining concepts such as good and evil, right and wrong, virtue and vice, justice and crime. Ethics deals with fundamental issues of practical decision making, and its major concerns include the nature of ultimate value and the standards by which human actions can be judged right or wrong. Now, let us see what is business ethics. Business ethics focuses on what constitutes right or wrong behavior in the world of business. Corporate business executives have a responsibility to their stakeholders, shareholders, and employees to make decisions that will help their business make a profit. But in doing so, business people also have a responsibility to the public and themselves to maintain ethical principles. Business ethics is a form of applied ethics. It originates from individuals, organizational statements, or from the legal system. It can be said to be the attitude, culture, and manner of doing business by the business community. It is a framework of contemporary organizational standards, principles, sets of values, and norms that govern the actions and behavior of an individual in the business organization. According to the Andrew Crane, business ethics is the study of business situations, activities, and decisions where issues of right and wrong are addressed. Business ethics are those principles, policies, or philosophies that are concerned with moral judgment and good conduct as they are applicable to business situation. Business ethics is a branch of ethics which prescribes standards of how the business is to be carried out. It lays down guidelines for the company's response and accountability to its various stakeholders. It gives a deeper understanding of what is good and bad, what is moral and immoral, or what actions are right or wrong in the operations of a business with respect to its customers, employees, investors, society, and all other stakeholders in order to protect them from harm and damages to their interests. Now let us see the corporate governance. The corporate governance, definitely we need board of directors and committees, then legal and regulatory framework, organizational hierarchy, monitoring and internal control, transparency and accountability, policies and procedures. This corporate should have the vision. To achieve its vision, it should have mission, strategy, objectives, and smart goals. Let us see the concept of entrepreneurship. Here, there will be an entrepreneur who is a person. Here, it is a subject. Entrepreneurship is a process or action, so it is a verb. Enterprise is the outcome of the entrepreneurship, so it is the object. So, entrepreneur, entrepreneurship, enterprise. Entrepreneur is a person, entrepreneurship is a process, enterprise is an outcome. Entrepreneur is a subject, entrepreneurship is a verb, enterprise is a object. Let us see the meaning of an entrepreneur. The entrepreneur is defined as someone who has the ability and desire to establish, administer, and succeed in a startup venture, along with risk entitled to do it and make profits. The best example of entrepreneurship is the starting of a new business venture. The entrepreneurs are often known as a source of new ideas or innovators and bring new ideas in the market by replacing old with an invention. Characteristics of successful entrepreneur. For an entrepreneur to be successful, definitely should have curiosity. Successful entrepreneurs have a sense of curiosity that allows them to continuously seek new opportunities rather than settling for what they think they know. Curious entrepreneurs ask challenging questions and explore different avenues. In entrepreneurship essentials, entrepreneurship is described as a process of discovery. Without the drive to continuously ask questions and challenge the status quo, valuable discoveries can easily be overlooked. Structured experimentation is the second characteristic of successful entrepreneur. Along with curiosity comes the need for structured experimentation. With each new opportunity that arises, An entrepreneur must run tests to determine if it is worthwhile to pursue. For example, if you have an idea for a new product or service that fulfills an undeserved demand, you will have to ensure customers are willing to pay for it. To do so, you will need to conduct thorough market research and run meaningful tests to validate your idea and determine whether it has potential. The third one is the adaptability. The nature of business is ever changing. Entrepreneurship is an iterative process, and new challenges and opportunities present themselves at every turn. It is nearly impossible to be prepared for every scenario. Entrepreneurs need to evaluate situations and adapt to their business can keep moving forward when unexpected changes occur. Decisiveness. To be successful, an entrepreneur has to make difficult decisions and stand by them. As a leader, they are responsible for guiding the trajectory of their business, including every aspect from funding and strategy to resource allocation. Being decisive does not always mean having all the answers. If you want to be an entrepreneur, it means having the confidence to make challenging decisions and see them through. If the outcome turns out to be less than favorable, the decision to take corrective action is just as important. Fifth is the team building. The great entrepreneur is aware of their strengths and weaknesses. Rather than letting shortcomings hold them back, they build well rounded teams that complement their abilities. In many cases, it is the entrepreneurial team rather than individual that drives a venture towards success. When starting your business, it's critical to surround yourself with teammates who have complementary talents and contribute to a common goal. The sixth one is the risk tolerance. Entrepreneurship is often associated with risk. While it's true that launching a venture requires an entrepreneur to take risks, they also need to take steps to minimize it. While many things can go wrong when launching a new venture, many things can go right also. The key, according to the entrepreneurship essentials, is for entrepreneurs to actively manage the relationship between risk and reward and position their companies to benefit from the upside. Successful entrepreneurs are comfortable with encountering some level of risk to reap and rewards of their efforts. However, their risk tolerance is tightly related to their efforts to mitigate it. Seventh one is comfortable with the failure. The eighth one is the persistence. Classification of entrepreneurs based on functional characteristics: innovative entrepreneur, imitative entrepreneur, entrepreneur. Based on the development angle, prime mover, manager, myths of entrepreneurship. There are a lot of myths about the entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs are born, not made. It's the biggest myth. Entrepreneurs are academic and social misfits. No. Entrepreneurs fit an ideal profile. All you need is money to become an entrepreneur. No. All you need is luck to be an entrepreneur. Big no. A great idea is the only ingredient in a recipe for success. My best friend will be a great business partner. A great idea is the only ingredient in the recipe for success. Having no boss is great fun. I will definitely become successful. Life will be much simpler if I work for myself. Entrepreneurial development models, psychological models, sociological models, and integrated models. Five stages for promoting small entrepreneurship are stimulation, identification, development, promotion, and follow up. This is the entrepreneurial development cycle: simulatory, support, and sustaining. Problems faced by entrepreneurs and capacity building for entrepreneurship. The problems may be internal problems, external problems, specific management problems. Internal problems are planning, technical feasibility, economic feasibility, poor project implementation, production. External problem of entrepreneurs are infrastructural, that is location, power, water, post office. Nowadays, no post offices. Communication, non-availability or irregular supply of critical raw materials. Transport bottlenecks. Financial, capital, working capital, long-term funds, recovery, marketing, taxation, and the raw material. So this is about the entrepreneurship, social responsibility, ethics, and entrepreneurship. Thank you.